Okay, we would look at DPLYR function as it exists in the R block. So rblogger.com is one of the best places to read about it. Now, they've given us this code where they've talked about PLYR libraries. So DPL is a new package we provide set of tools for efficiently manipulating data sets. It's the next iteration of PLYR focused only on data frame. It's faster, more consistent API. I don't want to go into the comparison. I'll skip this PLYR, but you see the grouping and the summarizing happen here automatically, but there was no group by. In DPLYR, if you start with this library and start with it, then you say players, padding, group by, and group by should always be followed by summarize, otherwise it would look like the same visually. So we just did that. So by now, grouping is top level operation performed by group by, and summarize work directly on the group data rather than being called from outside. The big difference is speed. PLROI took 7 seconds, while DPL 0.2 seconds was 35. This is common when player by many operation. Another innovation over PLYR ability to chain operation. So batting, group by, summarize, and this is the chaining operation. So we can we install DPLY and we have to learn how to look at the changes. So there are some videos given on DPLYR. It starts with the filtering, selecting, arranging, mutating, summarizing, min, max, and sample. Most important one are generally grouping and sorting and filtering, which is same as SQL. Let's look at some of the other examples. Searching DPLYR library. Some stuff exists. So here they talk about a library which they are going to use. They are going to show, select, filter, arrange, mutate, summarize, group by. Those are the only functions available, although you can mix them up in a lot of nice way. They talk about head, then they talk about filter, pipe operator, imports operator from another package, allows you to pipe the output from one function to other input of another function, like nesting function. Idea of piping is to read the function from left to right. Sleep, select name, and head. So one thing get applied to the other. Then you have arrange. Okay, in pipe something would work on the other, and so on. And mutate and summarize. So those are the main aspects of DPLYR when I'm searching on the internet for what is into DPLYR. Let's see for some examples. Example 1. I don't want to get all these libraries and create a trouble. We already looked at this. So DPL function are faster than R function. Perhaps SQL for analyzing even more. Python R says, but it's not designed to perform data analysis, designed for coding and managing data. To install. It's the whole story, and the functions that you have DPLYR test. The equivalent in SQL is select, where, group by, and this group by and summarize together they become group by, because you have to define the aggregation. Order by, join, and mutate. Here they are talking about removing duplicate rows on multiple files, selecting variable based on the names, filtering rows, multiple selection, and condition, not condition, contain. So this is a nice one. We can start with this one. Let's see if this works. It starts with saying that you have to download this data file. And then you can import it. Going to move this into my working directory so that importing is easier. Let's see if I see that here. Yeah, I see that here. My data. Okay. Sample selects random rows for the second parameter, shows the number of rows to select. So it's like random stuff, running random fractions, remove duplicate rows, select function, selecting variable, putting it inside a new variable. My data 2 is the new variable. And if you see my data 2, it has got 9 variable and this at 6. So from index and then from state. Dropping variable, reordering variable, renaming filter, filtering rows. This is important. So my data where index is equal to a. So here the index is a. Multiple, which is like n in the SQL, and index n CNC, and y3 is greater than this. My data 6 not found, so I think we did not create that. Let's find out where he created that. It's here. If you don't follow the order, then it says no, I cannot move it. What's now? My data 6 is rename index as index 1. Equivalent object index not found. Let's see. My data 6 because it's index 1. Let's see now. Okay, now it worked. Now let's see my data 8, only 16 variables based on different criteria. So this is contains, summarize on selected variable, summarize my data, y205 mean as mean, comma y205 as this. Let's see if that works. So we got only these two. So if you remember, we have to use group by and summarize when we want to use that with multiple variable. Summarize with custom function, summarizing on numerical variable, summarizing this, arrange, sorting data by multiple variables, and this is like doing many pipe operator. So it's like subqueries that we do in SQL. So like data frame, variable is equal to value or data frame, use filter on whatever is outside and then use that. It can be used with any function. So you can do many steps in just one go using this. We'll first start with dt equal to my data, whatever is inside. It's going to then select that, and whatever is inside it's going to select that. So let's see. So you see it did a lot of operation inside. So you not just selected this, you also did this and you saved it into this. Group by, use group by categorical value, summarizing data by categorical value. So only when you use group by on the group data you use categorical value, and it's one inside the other. So this is more like equivalent of SQL where you do first group by and summarize, but most of the time people do it with a pipeline operator. So let's see how that works. So you start with data, then you group by index, and then you summarize your group data by some variable. You calculate the mean. So here you are using pipelines to get one into the other. Do expression apply to each field. Filter data with categorical values. Suppose you want to pull two rows from A, C and I categories of variable index. Then my data, group by and do. Selecting the third maximum value using Windows function. Windows is like subsetting. Summarize, group and sort together. So you would use a lot of pipelining. Mutate to create new column and so on. It's a big tutorial, but it's nice, but it would cover everything. I'll continue it from the next video. Thank you.